Hello world, this is Abby. I'm just making a response video to for Anthropologist Britt, I believe. Um, let's see. She asked me a few questions and I'm just going to answer them. Her questions were: tell your life story around food and weight loss. Explain the role that food had in your life and what role you expect it to have after bariatric surgery. You can include what your favorite foods were and the symbolism behind those foods, and why you were drawn to those food choices. You can say things like where you ate the food, etc. Then you can explain why you think those food patterns will change after surgery. Okay, let's see. Whew. Growing up, I was not an what you would call overweight child. I was active when I was little. I went through chubby stages and getting thin stages, just like every child does. I mean, I have a 16-month-old daughter, and she's gone through stages herself. It wasn't until I hit puberty, at around 10 or 11 or 12, somewhere in there, like, what is it, tween or whatever, that I started to show signs of becoming overweight. By the age of 13, I weighed probably 170 pounds, and then I went up and down from there. It wasn't until after I had my daughter that I really hit rock bottom and weighed over 250 pounds consistently. It really sucked. Let's see. Explain the role that food had in your life and what role you expect it to have after surgery. Let's see. Food had actually a pretty big role in my life. Growing up, my parents would spend a lot of money on food and grocery shopping every month. Let's see. I have a big family, so that wasn't all of it. They just liked to buy expensive food. They liked to buy lots of food. I grew up in New York, moved around all over the place. I've lived in New York, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, California, Oregon, Washington. I've lived all over. So different cultures from different places. Also, I'm Italian and I'm Jewish. Both of those cultures have a big emphasis on food. Let's see. I love Italian food, all Mediterranean food. I love Israeli food, Middle Eastern food. I'm a big ethnic eater. Just recently, well, before I started thinking about this surgery, I started getting into Mexican food because I live in California now. So I like Chinese food, everything. Like, I will try anything once, and there's nothing I really don't like. Let's see. I don't expect food to have as much of a role in my life after surgery. I've been on my pre-op diet, for what seems like forever now, and food doesn't play as big of a role as it did before. I'm always thinking about food still, probably just because I can't have it now, and everybody else in my family is still eating the same way that they did. But my food choices, like, even if I do think about food, I don't think about the things that I used to think about. If I thought about a snack, I used to think about, like, salty things, like big soft pretzels, or pizza, or an ice cream, or, now I'll think about, I'd really like a string cheese, or I'd really like some Jello, If I'm still hungry, I think about those things. Occasionally, I'll think about things that I can't have, but I've been pretty good about, chasing those thoughts away. Let's see. The symbolism behind those foods is just, it's a family thing. We're proud of our heritage. I cook excellent Italian food. I mean, I cook great everything. I'm like an awesome cook, which is actually scary because that's like been my role in my family for the longest time, is just the cook. I mean, my dad never cooks. My brother doesn't even know how to make a grilled cheese sandwich. My husband can cook, and he does cook, but it's a different style of cooking. He grew up in California and Oklahoma, so his style of cooking is kind of oaky slash, and he makes some Mexican food and stuff, like chili verde and like a few things, but really, I'm the main cook in the house. He'll make easy things, but I think they'll miss my cooking the most. I told all of them that we're going to have to start eating healthier, and just different kinds of food. I've already gotten them to eat, I had artichokes one day, and instead of using mayonnaise and garlic and Parmesan cheese, I made something out of non-fat yogurt instead, with garlic powder and parsley and some lemon juice, and it really turned out pretty good. And my dad tried it, and it wasn't bad, so yeah, I think I'll just improvise with healthier choices. Make things with olive oil instead of vegetable oil. Bake, instead of deep frying, things like that. Incorporate different kinds of vegetables into everybody's diet. We've always eaten everything. Like, some people don't eat any vegetables. That's not the way it is in my family. I've always not been taught to eat your vegetables. They've always been in my diet. My mom always fed them to us, so nothing's really gross to me or my family. My daughter will eat anything, any vegetable you give her, any meat you give her. That's just the way we are. I kind of grew up with the mentality that if it's on your plate, eat it. You know what I mean? And now, being an adult, having to fend for myself and my family, having to pay for everything, I think it's just kind of, I don't want to waste things. I mean, we're not rich, we're not poor, but we have to work for our money, so I don't really like wasting food. And we're not really leftover eaters. I mean, occasionally we will, but I mean, that's one of the biggest things. I think that just portion control was never really explained to me growing up. Big, hefty portions, and now, after using my food scale, I know what true portions are. Everything that I buy at the grocery store now, I'm constantly checking the back of the box or the bag. I'm looking at the stats and what's in that, and how good it is for me, and what the protein content is, and how many calories are in it. And I'm just tossing foods that don't fit into what I'm going to need. My husband asked me to go to the store the other day, and he wanted me to buy him some hot and spicy munchies or whatever, this bag of chips. And when I used to walk down the chip aisle or something, I used to look, ooh, that looks good, ooh, that looks good. This time I walked down the aisle systematically, just looking for what he needed. It was amazing, and I surprised myself, because I wasn't looking at things like, ooh, that looks good. I was looking at things like, what does he want, I haven't eaten carbs in so long. I haven't drank soda. My mind and body is changing from this, and my food choices are already changing. The way my mind works, it's already being affected, and it's awesome. Let's see. I already answered why I was drawn to those foods. It was just taught to me, and to try everything once, and my culture. Let's see. Where I ate the food everywhere. Food was big in my whole family. My mom is Irish and Lutheran, and they eat lots of like corned beef and cabbage, and like potatoes, and meat and potatoes kind of people. But she learned from my dad how to cook Italian food, so everything. We eat everything, and we've eaten it with family. Holidays were huge in my family. I have let's see, Lana, Rosie, David, Jenny, Sam, Ellie. I have 6 brothers and sisters. My mom has 9 brothers and sisters. Her mom had 10 brothers and sisters. So we come from a big family. So holidays, we've always eaten together everywhere. Let's see. Explain why you think these patterns will change. Well, because they have to. They're going to change because they have to. I don't want to have dumping syndrome. I don't want to be throwing up. I don't want to be sick to my stomach. I don't want to feel like I'd rather die than feel the way that I'm feeling. So I think I'm just going to obey the rules. I think I might cheat once in a while, and probably maybe in the beginning, and then learn from my mistakes by throwing up or just feeling all around icky. So yeah, those patterns are going to change because they have to. I've already started walking, and I bought a bunch of exercise equipment. I bought like a Pilates ball or whatever that is, and I bought some 2-pound weights so I can start walking with those. I have an Orbitrack Elite, so cardio and everything. So I've got some exercise tapes. I can't remember what they're called, but I got those. I'm just gonna start banging it out. So hopefully I'll start emphasizing more. I'll start thinking about more exercise and less food. Definitely. Well, I hope this answered your questions. If it wasn't suffice, let me know, and I will try and answer what I didn't. Anyway, thanks for checking in, and keep checking in. Have a good day. Bye.